Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend as we roll into a new work week. No big showstoppers heading our way this week. There won't be any blizzards to talk about in the eastern part of the country, unlike what we had Friday into Saturday, of course. That ended up being, as advertised, a really, really nasty storm, of course, for parts of New England. That was just kind of a storm that brushed us with just a very, very small amount of precipitation. Actually, most of it was rain when that system came through late last week. Let's talk about this week, and well, it's a windy morning. It's also a fairly sunny morning in parts of the Mahoning Valley. Here's a look at wind gusts. Current as of the 9 o'clock hour this morning, the wind gusting generally between 20 and 30 miles per hour all across the Buckeye State and into parts of western Pennsylvania. The wind will continue to be a bit of an issue today, and parts of northeast Ohio are under a wind advisory today, with some gusts that can top out around 35, perhaps even 40 miles per hour. Otherwise, here's a look at temperatures across the country. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Here's a look at the temperature regime nationwide. We've got a little spike of warmth happening across parts of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. It's chilly up in the northeast with temperatures in the teens and 20s, and it's also pretty cold out in the Rocky Mountain states, heading into the plains. We've got a lot of teens and single digits out here as we head through the mid-morning hours. The warmest part of the country, not surprisingly, down around the Gulf Coast, where it's in the 60s. In New Orleans this morning, widespread 60s down in Florida as well. Well, the temperature change over the last 24 hours is pretty interesting. Look how much warmer it is across parts of the Great Lakes and Northeast. It's a good 20 to 25 degrees warmer than it was at the same time yesterday. In the meantime, in the wake of a cold front, it's as much as 10 to 20 degrees colder than the same time yesterday morning across a good part of the high plains and the Rocky Mountain states. So kind of a big contrast in temperatures today. Not surprising when we have a strong cold front heading through the eastern U.S. Here is a map showing midday temperatures expected across the region. You can definitely tell where the front is. Here at midday, it should be in the 50s, approaching 60 down along the Ohio River and southeastern parts of Ohio, heading down into West Virginia. But look at northwestern Ohio this afternoon around lunchtime. It'll be down into the 30s. So our front lines up at lunchtime today pretty much right along I-71 or I-77. That front will slip through the Mahoning Valley by tonight. Pretty uneventful frontal passage. Could be some flurries with it, but otherwise no big deal. And before the front moves through, well, it's pretty warm outside here at 9:17 this morning. At my home weather station, it's 48 degrees, so that's pretty unusual for mid-morning here in the middle of February. Here's a look at the national radar and satellite. Lots of rain lining up along our front in the deep south. We had some tornadoes yesterday in parts of Mississippi. You may have seen videos of that online or on the news on TV. And there is a small chance of severe weather today in the south. Most of this will just be rain, and it's welcome rain in the south. They could use some more rain. They're still dealing with drought conditions in a lot of places. As we zoom in across the northeast, rain pushing well out ahead of our front today. We're in this dry area across the Ohio Valley, the Mahoning Valley here during mid-morning. Some of these flurries on the back side of the front may slip in by this evening. They'll kind of nosedive south and east, so we may see some snowflakes at the end of the day today and into tonight as the cold air wraps in behind this front. And you can see where the clearing is on the visible satellite picture. Zoom in a little here, and we've got a nice little punch of clearing occurring across central and eastern Ohio, western PA as well. Enjoy the sunshine while we have it. I do think clouds will win the battle later on today. These clouds out across Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan head our way by the end of the day. Let's project into the future, talk about what may happen this week. Taking a look at our usual kind of suite of computer models here. Here come the flurries impacting parts of northeast Ohio by this evening. Again, no big deal, no accumulating snow heading our way. I think tomorrow is a pretty uneventful day. This is Tuesday midday, and the green area showing up here on this computer model around northeast Ohio and parts of western New York, northwestern Pennsylvania. Those are just flurries and some lake effect snow showers. Up in the snow belts, there may be a small accumulation of snow, but for most of us, no accumulating snow heading our way. Now, as we roll towards Wednesday, things get a little interesting on Wednesday. There's going to be a system riding along this old front down in the south. And there are some differences on the computer models as to how far precipitation will get north, how far north it will get. This computer model, the American GFS, brings some snow and maybe some mixed precipitation up to about Pittsburgh and Columbus, but not as far north as Youngstown. Now, the next model down, the NAM model, has precipitation farther north. This has it all the way up to Cleveland and over towards Erie and areas north of Pittsburgh as well. And if this ends up being right, we could see some precipitation in the form of frozen precipitation anyway by the end of the day Wednesday into Wednesday night. It could be a couple of inches of snow, maybe mixed with sleet, if this model is right. Here's the European model, which just did very, very well with the big hurricane, or the big blizzard along the eastern seaboard. This is usually our most reliable model, the European model, and notice how far south it has precipitation. It doesn't even get it to Pittsburgh Wednesday evening. It's as far south, or as far north, that is, as the Ohio River, extreme southern parts of Pennsylvania. So if that one's right, we see absolutely nothing out of this midweek system. So we'll be keeping an eye on model trends, seeing if they start trending north or trending south. But right now we do have a dry forecast for Wednesday, and hopefully that trend will continue. No matter what happens Wednesday and Wednesday night, as we go towards Thursday, things are pretty quiet. Here come some flurries along our next front towards the end of the day Thursday into Thursday night. This is another pretty strong cold front. Again, not much moisture to work with, so nothing more than flurries for most of the region at the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, it will turn colder. Lake effect areas could see some minor accumulations of snow. And the weekend at this point does look pretty cold here. Saturday at 1 p.m., no big storms on the map, but we do have some green showing up across northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania, indicative of flurries and lake effect snow showers. So it's back to midwinter for a time this weekend, although no big snowstorms are in store. Here's a look at the temperature graph on the European computer model, taking us all the way out through the 21st of the month. Well, this shows our spike of warmth today, then our cool down starting tomorrow. A little bit of a warm up at the very end of the week, but then here's the weekend, right after Valentine's Day, the 15th, 16th, 17th. We are below freezing. Freezing's this straight orange line here. So we're below freezing all weekend, and then it looks like it may warm up according to the European model beyond the weekend and into this time next week. So something to look forward to. Again, a little bit of a spike of warmth a week from now, but plan on a cold weekend coming up. Be sure to check out Jess on 21 News midday. She'll have an update on your forecast, and I'll update you this evening on 21 News at 6, 8, 11. Make it a great Monday.